I hope you are all fine. So, today we are going to discuss about a story of class 6, and previously in your 6th standard you have read a poem called Chithi, right? In that letter we see that the poet is getting letters from our nature, and also he is getting a letter from his grandson. So today we are going to discuss about a letter today, okay? And today's
In
lesson
your
is
sixth,
Book of Nature, written by Jawaharlal Nehru. Many of you have already heard of him, right? He was a great freedom fighter, and he was also the first prime minister of our independent India. But do you know, he was also a good writer, and some of his notable works are Letters from a Father to His Daughter, Glimpses of World History, and The Discovery of India, etc. Nehru had also a daughter named Indira Nehru. She was also the former Prime Minister of India. Her former name is Indira Gandhi, whom we have likely known as Indira Gandhi, right? So she was the daughter of Jawaharlal Nehru, uh, and Indira was very young, like she was of 13 or 14 years old. Nehru used to write her many letters. But why did he write to her daughter? Because when Nehru was the Prime Minister of our India, he was far from her daughter, and uh, that's why they used to communicate by writing these letters to each other. And these letters were later compiled in a book, and the book is called Letters from a Father to His Daughter. And in one of those letters we are going to read today, which is uh, which is posited in the class 6 standards book, and the lesson of this letter is the Book of Nature, as you all know. So, in those letters, he used to share many his thoughts, his ideas, and also he told about how the earth has been created, or how our earth is created. So, he also says about many lands or continents which are divided to each other. We all know that it was very different in the ancient time from we see these lands in today, because the lands like which we live, like India or England, these are only small parts of this earth's surface, but there are many big lands which are situated in this earth's surface, and they are divided or separated from each other, and how these lands or countries are separated, and how our human beings or human civilization has been developed. This story is going to he is going to tell to her daughter. Uh, he says, if you if you want to know about the history of our earth, or how the earth has been created, you may know all these in many books, and how when you gain knowledge about these things, I am sure you will find it more interesting than a novel you have read. So, in our in if we see the history of our earth, we see that about 3.8 to 2.5 billion years ago, during the Archean era, the atmosphere was too hot, very hot. And in this atmosphere, it was impossible to have human to have life existence on Earth. After many years, like 630 million years ago, the planet became very cold, uh, and oceans has been created by this situation. After and if we see 252 to 66 million years ago, back 6 million years back, we can see that the continent and the oceans were taking shape, and it is also called the dinosaurs era, because in that time it is made that dinosaurs were prevailed on earth. So, and after that, the last ices, it expands beyond 2.6 million to 11,700 years back. So in this ice age, it is assumed that there were many animal species who prevailed on earth, but most of this earth's surface was covered by glaciers. And after that, 1100 and 700 years ago to now, the Holocene era has been has seen, where the human life or the animal life which we have developed in today were created or prevailed, and after that human civilization prevailed on the earth, and also the rise of the advanced technology. But how can we know all these things if there were no humans back then? But he says we can know all these things by the research which have the scientists got by reading books, or explaining the ancient rocks, or by examining the fossils. Fossils is the remaining of an animal or any object. By examining these things, we can trace about the age of our earth or many other things related to our earth. So if and if these things makes you interested, you can research about these things in your higher studies, and it will also encourage you to know about more about of our earth. So today, that's all for today. See you in the next class. Thank you, everyone.